Hi everyone, in this video we're going to go over how to add the ultimate map system to your own project. For this video I'm using the pack from CocoNature and I have made this messy mountain here because the landscape was very flat. So first of all what you need to do is you need to add the ultimate map system to your project. I have already done this part, so I have it in my content browser right here. Let's open up our level that you want to add the map to. So in here we're going to search for map, and we got our map manager. We're gonna put it around here somewhere, bring it a little up, and then we are going to scale the overlay cube of it so that it spans the entire area that we want to capture. Now this overlay box is actually used to see when you enter a new area so that we can update the map to that new map. It's also actually very useful to find out the ortho width that you're going to need. So let's scale it up, and I think I'm gonna go with 2000. You can also go to top view and see how much that is. Yeah, that's not enough. That's too much. Yeah, that about seems right. And same for all of these. And can I just... Nope, that's not enough. It needs a little bit more. Yeah, let's go with this value. It's covering a bit too much, but it's fine. You can fine tune this. So we have our value here, just to make sure everything is covered. And yep, we're covering everything. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this value and we're going to add it to ortho width, and we're going to multiply it by 2. And now we can start adding the map data layers and map layers. Now map data layers are the ones that are going to capture the map, and then map layers are the material which we will be showing on our UIs. So you can have multiple map layers. The only purpose is if you want your mini map, big map to look different, or you have some other kind of maps that you want to look different, and you can just assign different materials in that. So the first layer we're going to name it big map, and the second layer is gonna be mini map. For the scale, this is actually the scale that you use to zoom in and out of it. So minimum 1, maximum value 7, and here we always want it to be like super zoomed in because it's a mini map. We can assign the player material, player location, and ouch. And for mini map layer, we're going to create new material. So if we go into Ultimate Map System, Materials, you will have master material here, map. You can create a child instance of that. Same goes for marker and player location. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate the big map for now and work with that. So we have our big map 1, mean 1. I'm going to assign it to both of these. Now assign them here. And another thing we're going to do for just now is we're going to set the game mode to the UMS demo so that we can try it out. I will go over on how to add it to your own player controller and everything later, but for now let's do that. If I play it now, I have a map that is not really ours because we did not set capture targets, but we did do see that it works. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add scene capture 2D, drag it into the world, rotate it, and I'm gonna name it landscape capture because this is going to capture the landscape. We are going to change some settings on it. First of all, set it to orthographic, and you don't have to change the orthographic width or anything. The map manager will assign it itself. We do need to set a texture target, and what we're going to do is actually we're not going to use landscape. What we're going to do is we're going to create a new render target so that you know which target works and which doesn't. We're going to create a render target, and it's gonna be RT landscape tutorial. Assign it here, open it up, and this should not be happening. It should not be updating because we do not want it to update on every frame. We do not want it to update on every movement. What we do want is we want only scene depth in R. that's the only thing we want. And if you do update it now and open it up, you'll see that it's nothing. There's nothing on it. And that's because what it's capturing is scene depth, and scene depth is not just between 0 and 1, it goes beyond that, which you'll get to understand a bit more in the material. So that's why it's all white, because it can't show us that data right now. We're going to scale it up. This is going to be based on your specific project. You can use 4K, you can use 2K. I'm fine with 1K. And then we need to change it to just RAD and 16F. So yeah, this means that it's only going to have a red channel and 16-bit floating point range. So it's like it's not going to take a lot of space in your memory. And once we have done that, it's just red. We can disable the capture every frame, capture every moment thing. And what else? We set it. Everything else is just we do need to set its location. So copy this and landscape capture. So let's just folder them so that we can easily keep track of them. We'll map system. Now in the map manager, we did set up our map layers, which is why this can pick maps here, and it has this. So what we're going to do now is we're going to give it an actual data. So first off, open your map material, change the landscape to the new landscape target that you set, which is landscape tutorial. And yes, this is fine. We're going to disable building layers, we're going to disable road, and we're going to disable water for now. So it's just gonna be red like that. Oh, what's next? We're going to capture the data. We're going to select landscape capture as our scene capture, and then we're going to add the tags that we want to pick from the scene, the actors with the tags. So for this, landscape, copy it. It should be exactly the same, and we're going to search for landscape. Now this landscape is like the older version of landscapes, which isn't like split into multiple parts. When it is split into multiple parts, you'll see that this landscape will have a bunch of childs, and you also need to add the tags to them. So do the thing. Yep, add landscape. What next we can do is we can set up the water layer, and let's do that so that we can actually see something here. I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to use this for water. So just change the name, water, and I'm just going to use the existing one because I already showed how to do this. How to make one. So water, same data, everything is same. And now we add it here. Now everything that is water related, we select that, we search water, we select all of it, remove the water capture, tag, add tag, and we add the tag. And let's see if anything updates. You don't always have to play the game to see if anything updates. You can simply just use this button, capture, go back here, and you can see now that water layer is differentiated basically. And if we enable water layer, we can see it. We can see the water, we can see our different islands, which are pretty accurate, I think. It's missing a little bit. Interesting. Oh, that might be because we messed up and we did not set the locations. Yep, we did that. So, my bad. Instead of moving the map manager, I just moved the overlay cube, which is wrong. We need to move the whole thing over. Select it, move it around. I'm gonna go to the top view, and here. Now if I use capture, Yeah, we can see it. We can see the new island now. We can see all of the islands, which is what we want exactly. And now if I play, my location should also be fine. Yep, I'm on this island, and here's the other island, and yep, the location seems fine. This is very important that you set the ortho width to the right value, otherwise your location is going to be very messed up. And we do want it to capture on game start, so right now I had to manually press it, and that's why it's working. If I restart the engine, it would not work unless I press this button, so that's not what we want. We want it to capture on game start automatically. This, you don't have to use this option, but then you would have to take your texture and make it into a texture permanently, and that's advised for static levels. If you have a procedural level, you should use the capture on game start, or you should use it once your once the level finished building, give it a bit of a time, and then use the capture function that you can get from your map manager. Save. Now let's do, we don't see lines or gradient on our map, so let's fix that. And that's mainly because we are too up high, like we're capturing from so up high that the values here just become so negligible. So what we want to do is we want to move it down, but still higher than your peak level, and keep it around there. I think that should be fine. And we should be able to now configure things properly. We are in the middle and everything, and the height is fine. So if we go here, that's a big value. And yeah, we'll have to adjust these values. Now these values are divide, multiply, power. These are going to be the values that you need to adjust to adjust your height maps. And in the topology lines, you'll also have these two values that you'll need to adjust your topography. So yeah, see, if I adjust it, I get lines. And yeah, it's really about how much you want. Like those landscapes here and here were mostly flat, but you can still get lines on them because you're like adding two main lines, because then the higher zones becomes a mess. So you just need to adjust them to your landscape. Now if you're making procedural landscapes, you would have some equation that makes the landscape, so you would also, if you adjust this for one or two procedurally generated maps, the other maps should also be fine. And yeah, I'm just gonna adjust this till I'm satisfied. I think I'm good with this. And here, yeah, that seems good. Yep, that seems good. And then we have our water layer. This is an option. You don't always have to use animated water. You can just simply leave it like this, or you can use animated water. It's pretty self-explanatory. And like rotation, scale, and water speed, water frequency, which is how many waves there are gonna be, and amplitude is how high they're gonna be. And the topology lines also have these three other variables: power 2, smooth step, lines max, and mini. And this is basically like to control the gradients of the lines. And as you can see, pretty. It's just, these are just the values you will need to tweak to get the map to look like how you want it to. It doesn't really have much to the meaning than that. And next up, what we're gonna do is we're going to add buildings. Now this map doesn't really have buildings, so what we're going to do is we're going to pick these rocks, and we're going to use them as buildings. So first of all, anything that is a rock, we select it. Just make sure it's the rocks, nothing else. Oops, there are some rocks under the ground, so they will also show up as underground buildings. And we're going to give them a tag called buildings. Buildings. And now copy this, go to your map, duplicate water layer, call it buildings capture, and set the buildings. Map Manager, we add another layer, we select buildings, and we add the tag of buildings. Save before trying it out. I am saving it so much because my PC crashes a lot. Okay, that's not part of the tutorial. If we capture it now, and we go to a big map, we don't see anything, and that is because we have disabled building layers. So if we enable it, make sure you have assigned your buildings and everything, and you can see buildings, you can see all the rocks there are. If I play it, and you'll also see an outline. We're gonna go over the outlines in a bit. But yeah, big rock, small rock somewhere here, and then... There seems to be some sort of mistake with the location. I'm not sure why. Okay. Oh, yeah. I think it's the location. Make sure all of them have the same rotation and the location. This one has messed up rotation for some reason. If we play now, what do we get? Is it fine? Yep, it is fine. Yeah, so just make sure you have correct location and rotation. Just make sure all of these are same. You don't have to rotate the map manager. And now we have building layers. Now let's check out how to tweak them. Now you're not seeing any outlines here. That's because of the scale. We only show outlines once we're zoomed in enough. And how do we do that? How do we do that? Zoom, 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 zoom. Scale. Yeah, if I zoom in enough, I'll see the outlines. Now I'm just setting this temporarily, and so that I can adjust the outlines how I want it to. Again, also another thing in the buildings, you will see divide buildings. This is kind of the similar as tweaking this one. So sometimes you will have to tweak this value until you can see your buildings. Sometimes you might not be able to, like right now you can't, you just need to adjust it till you can. And I can see all of my buildings now. And now we can adjust our edge detection. If we remove it, we are detecting all the minor edges that the building has. Increase it and it'll like only keep the external ones. And you can also like choose to use different type of edge detection. This is like a super basic edge detection, and then this uses Sobel edge detection, which is something I found on Wikipedia. This actually works better for buildings, but seems like this one, the simple one, works better for more natural formations. And then you can adjust it further, like the width and stuff of it. The mini and max is basically what we learn through based on scale. So if I increase it, now you can also see it on zoom. Sorry, without zoom. So that's what your mini and max is. And if I play now, nothing really changed. But yeah, as I zoom in, I can see more and more of it, more and more of the edge detection. Probably need to lower the value because this is getting messed up here. So let's do that. And if I go here, yeah, that's much better. But now I don't like how it looks on the minimap, so let's just duplicate it and we'll call it minimap2, and we're going to change the map layers for minimap to minimap. And if we open it up and play, now I can adjust it properly. Just give it a bit more of that, and I can change the color too if I want for the edges. Maybe I want it to be more grayscale, so I'm gonna do this. No, I can't see things properly then. This maybe, and save it, go back. And now if I open minimap, that is still the old map. So yeah, if you want to create different type of maps, use this. And these are the underwater rocks. Like you can't see them on the map, but they're like under the water. Like if I go here, you can't see them, but if I go under the water, I'm sure I'll be able to see them. Yep, there they are. So I think that covers all the basics of it, except the road layers. Now this map doesn't really have any roads, so I can't add roads. You might see call this a road, but it's not using any sublines. What we do currently in level design is we actually use splines, and then we use virtual textures to update the landscape with those splines and blend better, basically. So you would still have splines. This level doesn't. This is just hand painted. So you add the tag roads to the spline, you add it here, and you have roads. Now I've named them building, landscape, roads. You don't have to use them as it is. Like right now we use stones for the builds. We can do the same thing for the roads. Instead of using roads, you can use something else. And now what we should do is, what we can do is we can set up a smaller level. So I'm gonna capture all of this and I'm gonna paste it, and this is going to be room. This is going to be island map manager, and the buildings here is going to be 2. We need another landscape, not the same one. Water, I'm gonna create a duplicate of it. And what we're doing is we're setting up a smaller map so that you can transition from big map to small area map to big area map. Just an example of that. And island manager, now this needs to be much smaller. So again, top, and select your island manager map, go to overlay cube, and I think I'm gonna keep it here. I think it can be smaller. Just make sure it's always a square. That's the current limitation. Keep it neat. This is just something I prefer to do. Like, if there's no reason for decimal values, don't give decimal values, basically. We're going to select island. Oh, I did it again. I moved the overlay instead of the map. Select island map manager, select all of it, and move it here. Select island map, select ortho view, multiply it by 2. That is important to do. And we need to make sure that you do update your map layers. So the new map layer would be map small. Not really doing a very good job at naming them properly. But yeah. Now if we play, we'll notice we start from here, which is our main map, which is how it should be. And we have different maps here. And if we go close enough here, now the area that we set up before, the overlap area, this is, as soon as we enter that, our map changes. And now we are in the small map. So we have our huge rocks here, and our map here, and more rocks. And that's how the multiple zones work. You can have as many zones as you want. You can have one zone inside another zone, and the map automatically keeps track of how you entered through those zones. So you don't have to worry about making your map in a specific way or updating these manually. Just set up an area, enter it, exit it, and it'll automatically handle all that. And that is the basic setup of it. Now what we can do is we can see how do we add these maps, how do we tell our UI to pick which map. So if you go to your game modules, go to the demo game module, you'll see that we just have like one custom class, which is the player controller. If you open that up, what we need to do is we need to have a map marker and a map tracker. Just make sure to add these to your player controllers so that our map can track this particular player pawn. And this all is just like temporary stuff. What you need is you need to add a widget. You don't have to use this widget, you can use your own widget. The main part is that you use WB map. This is the main widget that you need to use. So if you add it to any widgets, you'll have a few options. You have map tag. We've set it to minimap, which is if you select map manager, and you'll see we set up like two different layers: minimap, big map, and that's that. For the small map here, we are using minimap. For this big map here, we are using big map. If you select fixed location, it means that we'll try to keep the map centered to the pawn. So if we play right now, you'll see if we move around, the player map is always in the center and the map moves. But if we go to big map, that's not the case. The map stays stationary, just the player moves. So that's the difference between fixed location and non-fixed location. Scale clamp. This is actually when you actually use your mouse cursor to zoom into the map. This is what is going to be used. And desired scale is what you initially start up with. So here it's going to start up with 7. We actually can't change it unless we change the scale here. This is going to be used as clamps. But yeah, that's what we use. So if I select it to 5, we play, and if I open big map, it starts with like a 5 zoom level, and that's all that is. You just need to drop it in, and that's it. And you can see some stuff here on tick, but this is just some debug information that we're putting in these texts. So yeah, literally all you need to do is just drop this into your widget, show it on the map, show it on the UI. That's all. Or you can just show it in the world however you want. Now, you do need to add these two components to your player controller, as I mentioned. Don't need to set any settings or anything. So now that we have all the basics out on how to set it up, on how to show the map on your screen, and how to create your own widgets and everything, let's get over on how to add markers. Adding markers is also super simple. Just select anything that you want to add the marker to. So let's say we want to keep a track of this tree. What we do is we are going to add a component called map marker. Once we add that, we are going to have a similar setup to our map manager. We have layers and then we have map tag. Now map tag, this is going to include the array of every map that can see this. Every map manager that can see this. So, if I select map manager, I have this map tag here. So if I copy it in main, we're gonna select our tree, our component, and now this is going to show up in just that map that has this tag. If we select our island map, that does not have this tag, we'll name it island, and it won't show up for that map now. So select marker, we're going to give it layers, so we want it to be visible on minimap, and we'll give it a marker. These are a couple of instances of marker I already made. You can use your own if you want. This is like scale on based on how much you've zoomed in the map, how big the marker should appear. You can tweak those around. Anyways, yeah, we want it to be a star, and if I play now, I should be able to see it on my minimap. And I can't. Oh, and that is because I didn't set add on construct. This means it will be added to our data as soon as we start the map. If you want to add it manually, you can just call the add on construct function, and then it'll show up on the map. Add on construct. If we go here now, we should be able to see it. Yep, very vague, but you can see it on the minimap because both of the things are yellow. Let me just change that. Gonna purple, and yeah, you can see it now. It's right there on the tree. And another thing is, since we only added it for minimap, you can't see it on the big map. Like, it's not there. Now, what if you want to show it on the big map? Simply add another one of these. I'm gonna copy this, paste it here, and call it big map. Now if I play it, I'll see it on the big map. Now we're going to do this one more time, but we're going to set it up in a way so that only island map can see it. So just gonna copy it, and let's say we want to track this rock here. And we're gonna paste the map marker, or you can just search map marker and you'll get it. We're going to give it a different map marker. We're going to give it this one. You can change it based here. You also have some other settings, but yeah, you can tweak those around if you want. These two are set automatically by our system. You don't have to set these up. You can change the others. And it's going to be dark yellow. Sorry, yeah, really yellow. Save, and save. Now that we have added it, we don't want it to be on our main menu again. We want it to be on our... We want it to be just on our island map. So select Island Map Manager and see the map tag that we have here. Now this is not these or these. Just remember that it's outside of all of that. It's just map tag. Island, and we want it to be just tracked by that. We don't want it to be tracked all the time. And now if I play it, I'm starting here. I can still see my tree here. I can open the map up. I can still see my tree here, but I do not see anything here. But if I go and open this areas map, I should be able to see it. I can't. Oh, I can. It's just showing it in the middle of the rock, which is a very big rock. And that is something we can just adjust here. A 1, and oh yeah, that's too big. 0.2 and 0.2, much better. So yeah, you can see it now here. That's our map. That's our marker. And I think that covers all of the features of this pack. Right now it doesn't track the constantly moving targets, but you can manually just update it whenever something moves to update the marker. Maybe do it on a timer so that it doesn't update on tick on like every single step it takes, just to keep it lightweight. And yeah, and that is the overview of all of the system on how you can use all of the features of this system. If you like it, then give it a review on our marketplace. It's a free pack, and it just helps us bring more features for you guys. And make sure to check out our other packs, our Ultimate FPS pack and our Skill Tree pack.